In 1960, a young researcher named Jane Goodall entered the forests of Tanzania with a notebook and binoculars. She saw chimpanzees picking up twigs and stripping the leaves to fish termites out of mounds. Now, others had seen the same behaviour and overlooked it, but Goodall interpreted it differently. This wasn't just feeding, it was tool use. And with one observation, she shattered the belief that humans were the only tool makers, showing how the act of observation can open entirely new ways of knowing. Welcome to ToK Today. I'm Daniel and you're watching part 1 of our 3-part series on ToK Essay 1, May 26. Does it matter that observation is a flawed but essential tool? Now, in this video, we'll be looking at the approaches to this prompt. In the second video, we'll look at knowledge claims. And in the third video, we'll look at some of the evaluation points that could be developed for this prompt. Now, when I first read this prompt, the part that stood out to me is that observation is a flawed but essential tool. However, as I started to think a bit more deeply about the prompt, I came to the view that "does it matter" is actually the important bit of the prompt. So whilst you need to be aware of the flaws in observation, you only need to deal with them in terms of whether they matter in the production of knowledge. Don't write an essay that describes the flaws of observation, or even worse, debates whether observation is actually flawed. Now, do write an essay on whether those flaws actually matter in the production of knowledge, an issue that we'll get into later in this video. But if you want more detailed help on that, then listen to these messages. Hi, are you thinking, I'll just pop the ToK essay question into an AI platform like ChatGPT, I'll get it to write the main bits of the essay, and then I'll tweak it a bit, and they'll never find out. Well, if that's what you are thinking, that's a very bad decision, my friend. So, why is it such a bad decision to use AI rather than HI? That's human intelligence, my friend. Well, first of all, there's much better help that you can get for your ToK essay than AI, and this better help is completely legal and academically honest and so on and so on. Secondly, we know that AI can give you a lot of answers, possibly too many answers. How do you know what the best answer for your ToK essay is when AI can just keep giving you more and more answers? And some of those AI answers are wrong. So in this new AI world, selectivity is the new exclusivity. Thirdly, everybody writing a ToK essay this year has access to AI. Now, you don't know whether the answers that AI gives to you are just the same as the answers that everybody else's AI is giving to them. Relying on AI too much can result in a lack of originality, or even worse, submitting the same content as someone else. And we know what would happen then. So finally, and most importantly, by using AI, you risk wasting all those amazing years of your lovely IB education, because you could fall foul of IB's AI detection tools, and consequently, some not very good stuff would happen. So what is better than AI help? Well, HI help, that's human intelligence, my friend, and you can get that in the ToK Today student guidance notes from ToK Today. Written by an experienced ToK human, the notes are like a mini textbook for this essay. They're crammed with many explanations and examples of knowledge arguments and real-world examples and evaluation points, all of which you can use as models to develop for your own essay. So you can write your own excellent ToK essay, something that you can be proud of and will demonstrate what an audacious and academically honest individual you are. Thank you. Now let's get back to the ToK essay. Okay, so we've established that the focus should be on the words "does it matter" rather than on the flaws in observation. However, we shouldn't ignore the other descriptor of observation, that it is essential. Again, we don't necessarily want to use words debating whether observation is essential or not, but we do want to discuss whether it matters, whether its essentialness matters. So hopefully you've got the idea that the focus should be on does it matter rather than on the characteristics of observation, and that the term does it matter leads us to ask, does it matter for what? Obviously, does it matter in the production of knowledge, but what characteristics of the production of knowledge could be so important that the essential but flawed nature of observation may threaten them? Well, that's the issue for you to decide, essentially. Essentially, we're now asking the question, what characteristics do we want in the production of knowledge? Now, you could argue that you want it to be accurate, valid, reliable, functional, effective, inclusive, exclusive, reclusive, or even redemptive. It's for you to decide. And once you've decided, you should justify it in terms of the knowledge framework of the AOK that you're considering. So whether the essential but flawed nature of observation matters in the production of knowledge depends upon the desirable characteristics of the production of knowledge. Or in other words, what do you want in and out of the production of knowledge? And we'll be getting into that in the second video in this three-part series. I hope to see you there. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and share. Pick up the notes from ToK today for extra help. And I hope to see you on the next one.